Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Brits with all the motherfucking wit. And I'm back for your enjoyment, but mostly my enjoyment because I just enjoy winding all these little shits up. And, kicking ass and winning shit. So that's what I'm back to do. As you know, when I left, I tried to come back for a little bit and be the nice guy and play the nice guy role and do all the nice things. But here's the thing, I don't like it. So I'm back being Maverick, being the guy on his crusade. Just so you know, today is the Real Talk Awards. They're going to get to that in a little minute. I think I tore that out, but before then, I have some stuff to settle. So, for me to come back and do this crusade, starting at the Royal Rumble, well, apart from the challenge I'm going to throw down in a minute, where I win and book my ticket for WrestleMania, and then get my title shot of Fastlane, but we'll talk about that later. I'm still owed that title shot, just so everyone knows. I have to review Booty Dust's work. So I'm a man of my word. It's been a very long while since I lost to Booty Dust. But I am a man of my word. So I watched one of his films, the shortest of his films, for obvious reasons, called Hello. How may I help you?
2 buckets of chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy.
I'm being fucking interrupted for that shit. Are you kidding? So, and there's television in the background. Fucking hell, guys, a little bit of respect, to say the least.
This is why we guys are live.
We are live.
I'm sorry, pal, we're live.
For you.
Ryan, mute your mic.
I'm not talking.
We're live! Oh, wait, no, not that kind of live?
Oh, fucking hell. Amateurs. Fucking amateur hour.
Right.
So, I watched Booty Wars, Return of the Booty, which, in case anybody's wondering, it's the third one of the trilogy. Javier's back as well. There's no more beeping, we are live, and you are interrupting my grand soliloquy and review of Booty Dust's turd of a film. So, let me just start with the beginning. The beginning is just him sat on his bed eating popcorn for a full hour. This is the first hour of an 8-hour film, and it is possibly the poorest and worst thing I've ever seen. Booty Dust is, he's a modern day fool who writes, directs, and acts in just a huge pile of shit. I'm hoping he's going to show up. I know he's not booked for this episode, but it'd be nice to hear him defend his directorial choices in that movie. But yeah, big fat pile of turd. Anyway, so there's my review for that. Debt's been settled. That's all been sorted, and I'm picking up about this huge, I'm going to go on a crusade thing. I've been doing it for a little while, but I am the Crusader Maverick of Real Talk Wrestling Podcast. So obviously, for that reason, I'm going to have to go on a crusade, and that's what I'm doing. Of course, this starts with the man I last lost to. So, to Booty Dust, who may be here or he may be listening somewhere in the cosmos, because I know he's a bit of a mystic guy. Well, let me just say, to him, I've been getting in touch with my mystic arts, and I'm ready for you on a cosmic, spiritual level. And, if you remember back in the old days, Knights of Valor, who would go on crusades, used to burn witches, and I'm going to burn you down to the ground, Booty Dust. Okay? So, at Wrestle Kingdom, I want you one-on-one so I can settle this little feud, put that out to pasture at the beginning this year. And then my crusade begins. Then I go straight into Royal Rumble, firing off that win, and all is well in the world. So, yeah, Booty Dust, if you want to get back to me whenever you're free, leave a message at the tone, and I'll see you at Wrestle Kingdom on the 4th of January. Yeah, sound good? Fantastic. There we go. Hey, gang, you can come back now. I'm all done. Just said my piece there. Maverick's back. Maverick's going to take the title. Maverick is going to burn Real Talk Wrestling podcast down to the ground during his crusade, and every single one he was on notice. There you go. I think I've made my point. I'd like to think I've made my point anyway. Yeah. Anyone want to say anything?
Yeah.
Right,
How dare
strong
you?
Words. No. Strong words from
Strong words.
Wait, from a
what the fuck?
returning.
Who are you defending your title against?
We'll get to that later.
Oh, there's more surprises. I thought mine was a fucking surprise.
How dare you insult his Booty Dust's movies? Those movies are classic. And what do you mean the third one?
Long.
Hey, you said the third one was the Booty Wars?
Pacing is all off. The first hour, it's like he turned the camera on and forgot it was on.
Forgot it was.
Hey,
And then left it in the movie.
What
they are
movie were you
classic by
watching?
definition. They can withstand the test of time, mainly because no one ever watches them, so they don't get used.
Well, here's the thing. You were a modern day Tommy Wiseau, but even he had vision.
Damn.
Little room reference there for you, just movie imbeciles who don't get that.
I don't watch movies, but I watch his movies. They are classics.
But yeah, I just want to make it very clear as well to everyone listening. If you remember a while back, I let everyone know that I had a title match at Royal Rumble. I've been asked by the higher-ups to not have it at Royal Rumble purely because they want me to defend my Royal Rumble win and win it twice on the trot. I said, okay, I understand why that would be a big draw, having me in the Rumble match. So I'm going to have my title match at Fastlane. Some people here don't think I deserve a title match. Here is the thing. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Here is the thing. I am one of the founding fathers of just Malik and the team here. And I damn well deserve anything that I fucking want. And these guys need to understand this. I built this from the ground. And if I want a fucking title shot, one that, to be fair, I was joking around about, but they said I could have it. So I'm fucking having it. And so I'll see you at Fastlane, whoever the champ is. I do have it, so don't message into the little group. He knows he doesn't have it. Like,
Actually, no, that kind of belongs to me. That's how I come.
It's fine. It's fine. So who are you against at Wrestle Kingdom? Yeah, rematch.
It's someone outside of the...
No, that's not the story I'm going with.
No.
While drunk, I demanded a title shot. They said, okay, you can have a title shot at Royal
They said
Rumble.
you can earn one, and
That's
you didn't do shit to earn it.
the Brits do it. That's how the Brits fucking do it. When they're drunk and they want a fucking title match, they get a fucking title match. Because I'm Maverick from Real Talk, the crusader of Real Talk, the Brit with all the wit. And there is your fucking Christmas present.
Okay, I'm gonna side with Maverick on this. Have you not learned anything from history? The Brits fucking take everything.
Sorry. Yeah, we do. We do. Because we are strong-willed.
I really know if that's the
Sit
case.
on our asses, get shit done.
Alright.
So, yeah. There we go.
I think you're a piece of shit.
Thank you very much. I am a piece of shit. But I'm a piece of shit. Churchill was a piece of shit. Who else is a piece of shit? Oh, let me have a little think. I think you can mark back any famous Brit who got a lot of stuff done for the good was a piece of shit. But, piece of shit too. I'm gonna take back my title.
First thing you said, I agree
I'm
with.
gonna start my crusade at Wrestle Kingdom, and it's pretty exciting stuff. You are all welcome. I will see you in the new year. No, I'm gonna see you next week for a Christmas special. Where we're back slagging each other off.
Christmas will be over, so it's more like a New Year's special.
Okay, we'll call it a New Year. We'll call it a New Year's fucking special then. There's no point in interrupting me for that, was there? No, there wasn't.
No, but it annoys you, so.
I mean, I'm not gonna start mocking the person who hasn't got a title at the minute. But anyway, moving on. Have a cracking Christmas, gang, from your Uncle Maverick, and the crusade begins on the 4th of January. Hashtag blessed.
And blessed we are.
Blessed you are. Hashtag
Booty Does Movies are
Maverick
great. That's all I gotta say.
Sorry,
Alright.
what you gotta say?
Booty Does Movies are great. That's all I gotta say. But continue. Let's go with the awards.
Alright.
Yes, awards. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever, and they will be annual, 2017 Real Talk Wrestling Podcast Awards. Hosted by Luigi. How you doing? Yeah, we have, we're real people outside the podcast. I don't know if you guys knew that.
What?
Right?
Why didn't you guys tell me?
Wait.
I thought y'all knew.
Oh, Karen was just saying for that part? Oh, wow. That's disappointing. I wanted Karen to say the whole night.
To be fair, all he was going to do was say Maverick won every award.
Yeah, but that was a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I actually do miss Mav. I love Mav. I love
Promo
Karen.
of the year. I'm a 3-time world champion.
And I lost it 3 times on my first attempt. Hey, quick question. How many times did I successfully defend the world title?
Okay, let's see.
So I just to make
Wait,
sure.
all right.
defended
You-
it
wait,
successfully more
you-
times than he's even won it.
You won it at No Mercy. You tied at.
I'm gonna go flat out and say the only thing I regret about your world title reign is the fact that you didn't lose it to me.
Ooh. Okay.
I
Yeah.
regret
Well, we,
Let's
most of us
kickstart-
are here.
that I didn't lose.
Ooh.
Wish Kieran would have stayed a little bit longer, but, you know, I'm glad that he's back. We all missed him. But here's how it's gonna go.
Wait. Is Xavier here?
Now, there may not be gimmicks, but I still don't like him.
Ace, can you hear me?
Out and clear.
Hey, what's up? This is your first episode. You know, you gotta give us the little introduction to yourself, man.
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have myself muted the whole time.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah,
I heard your
so,
background noise. So, Ace, welcome to the podcast. So this is what you gotta do. You just, introduce yourself, your favorite match, what got you into wrestling,
wait,
yada. You know, the same old.
Wait, wait. Pause, please.
Wait, pause the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Wait, just tell him when you're ready.
It's on, Ace. Continue.
What happened?
Give your introduction.
Hey guys, I'm Israel Dalton, just known as Ace. My favorite, what got me into wrestling, honestly, was my brother, like I said. We watched wrestling when we was little kids, and my father had bought cassette tapes when the VCRs was out there famous.
What's a VCR?
A VCR? Wow, man. Like, if you was born in the 1990s.
Sorry to interrupt. I couldn't help that.
It's cool. It's just, it was DVD. It was like the DVDs back then. So that's basically what it was. But it was like these big tapes. He bought one for that came with. He bought 2 actually. One, and both of them came with an action figure, a T-shirt, and the tape itself. So I had gotten The Rocks, and my brother had gotten Stone Cold. And ever since then, since I watched the tape, The Rock became instantly my favorite wrestler. So as you can tell, he was my all-time favorite wrestler. Current wrestler now, I'm not really sure. Like, you know, everything's all over the place, so it's like hard for me to really like find one absolute favorite one. So it's kind of difficult to decide which one is my actual favorite. But yeah.
So a question: if your favorite is The Rock, then you gotta know what's cooking.
Oh wow.
Smell cooking. Hold on, give me a whiff. Let me get a whiff.
No, you know, it's a long-running joke in the podcast because of Malik's stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what's cooking. It doesn't matter what's cooking.
What's cooking?
It doesn't matter what's cooking.
It does not matter what's cooking.
No, screw you
That's
guys.
not funny.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, trust me, it's hilarious.
He said that's not funny.
Dude, same.
Is that the feet man?
Yes, that's the toe guy.
Yes, man.
The demon toes.
What's up? They ain't demon toes. They're sexy toes.
Yeah. Sure.
What's going on, guys? I'm glad to be part of this podcast, by the way, you know.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, I worked hard to get these podcasts up.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the work, man. The work
Just click some butt.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, the guy who's talking to Britt, yes, he is technically correct. He is one of the founding fathers of the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was me, him, and this dude named Sean. Long story short, but we were the original three. And then when Real Talk started,
Yeah,
there was me.
you put that Sean guy in his place and sent him back to amateur style?
Oh. Well, anyways.
It reminds me of his accent reminds me a lot of Simon Cowell.
Well, they're both
Well, he is a
British, so...
Yeah. No, that's why I was like, wait a minute, Simon Cowell?
Yeah. You didn't know he was British?
Fucking I didn't know that.
British.
Alphonse. We told you he lives in like the UK time zone.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, you.
Welcome to the first ever annual.
Alphonse. No gimmicks.
I said that already. Thank you.
I mean, well, apparently everybody's getting off track.
So I need to see my favorite wrestler?
I tried to do. No, we already had your introduction, sir.
Oh.
Tell us your favorite demon
toe. Don't worry.
That's a lie, sir.
Alright, so basically we have 10 categories that we will be discussing. And those are as followed. Best Talker of the Year, Gimmick of the Year, Match Card of the Year, Promo of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Catchphrase of the Year, Feud and Underrated Feud of the Year, Breakout Star of the Year, and Superstar of the Year. Now how it's going to go, I'm going to let one person speak. They will say their piece on who they think should win the award, and then we'll go on to the next one. And then by the end of every person, the person with the, with the overall votes, will win the award. Now, the only reason why we're doing it is so there's not a poll to where it minimizes the amount of possible outcomes for one award. So if we only had, for example, Jimmy and Kieran as, Superstar of the Year, then what if
I guess I'll take Jimmy.
What if Malik thought that someone else deserved it? Oh, we can't do that because they only have two options. So that's why we're doing it this way, to make it more open.
Because two options gets you Trump, and nobody wants Trump.
No, we don't.
Jimmy wants Trump.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, Jimmy loves Trump.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
We know this. Anyway, so we're going politics aside. We're going to start off with a big one. And the first award for the 2007, oh my god.
Botchamania.
Yeah.
Can we get a do-over?
Hey, Ricky, what year is it? Can we make a late break for the catchphrase for what year is it?
What years? I don't know. The first award for the 2017 Real Talk Awards is Breakout Star of the Year. Now, to classify Breakout Star of the Year, basically myself, Malik, Javier, and Kieran cannot win
Don't forget
the
Sean.
award. And Sean.
John's not getting any.
None of the five of us can win this award because we were the original five who started out. So anyone from
I would consider John a part of that too. I mean,
no, he came
pretty close.
like 2 months after, a month after. No, yeah,
And for the most part, we've always discussed things. You've always considered me as the first new person.
Well, we'll count John here because he didn't start off the podcast with us. So, other than the five of us, everyone is eligible. Alright? And I'm going to start off with the man who was the first to pop up. John, you have the floor. No interruptions, please.
Alright, so as egotistical as I usually am and like it about myself, I've actually thought long and hard about this, and
Oh my.
no offense to you, Hunter, but I'm actually going to have to give my vote to Enigma. And for one reason. Hunter has been a two-time world champion and a tag team champion. But if we're taking overall accomplishment into account, Jimmy is a Triple Crown champion, a Money in the Bank winner, and as much as it pisses me off storyline-wise and how we all think they cheated and all that shit, he did successfully cash in that contract.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll go to the man who was just voted for, JPG, the sexy man. You got the floor.
All right. I mean, like I said, all egos aside, I'm basically, this is just, I guess, I'm not trying to be biased at all. I'm going to be completely fair, game it aside, but I do have to give the vote to myself. Like I said, I was preaching this earlier because, I'm not going to take away anything from Hunter. He did defend, he's a two-time champion when nobody thought he could. He went from, I understand he went from fired, to world champion. He did finally, was the first person to successfully defend the world championship. Not once, not twice, but several times. If we're going to go with overall accomplishment and, not just title reigns itself, I would have to give it, to me as I did hold the ICP championship. It would have been longer. I'm not going to get into that. First ever Money in the Bank winner on the same night. Triple Crown, and I won that Triple Crown in fashion with holding both belts at the end of the night after a successful cash-in. Once again, we're not going to get involved in that, but so I'd give it to myself.
All right. We'll go with might as well Javier. Javier. All right. You know what? Never mind. We're going with Alphonse.
Okay, my name's not Javier. Yes, my name's Alphonse. It's because I'm Mexican, dude. But,
Wow, dude. That's kind of racist.
What? Okay, I'm gonna give it to Jimmy Enigma. Just due to the fact that he is a Triple Crown champion. He has accomplished more things and everything. He's essentially cashing his briefcase. Now he's the world champion. He's a tag team champion. So, overall, he's done more, which is good for him. So I will give it to him.
Okay. We'll go with Hunter next.
All right, now I would like to say that these votes should not count as any. We could get my case as to why we should vote, because like in any category in a sports show, you show their highlights beforehand, and so let me start this thing off fresh. Jimmy did do a lot of great things, but he got a world title that was legitimate. The world title was not legitimate, and all of the podcast. Because, and we said it before, during the time when I won it, everybody wanted the IC title because that's what everyone cared about. I brought legitimacy to that title. That is an accomplishment in itself. I think Breakout Star of the Year, I've had an effect on this podcast that goes beyond me. I bring it to where Jimmy holding that title means something. I held my 2 championships for a total of 180 days. Defending, it's not just about how many reigns I had, but the magnitude of those reigns. Jimmy could lose his belt at the next show, and bam, it's his total time as a champion, maybe a week and a half? And this means no disrespect to you, okay? But I've actually proven that I'm a capable champion and that I can defend said championship.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with Malik next.
Had a feeling. Okay. Like I said, I'm really 50-50. And this is not gimmicks. This is not the broken gimmick. This is Malik Davis as a viewer and owner of Real Talk. The guy who actually watch and edits the podcast is. This really tears me apart to pick, cause I've seen Hunter, and Hunter, you cannot deny when you first started, I did try to help you. I boost you up. I tried,
This isn't gimmicks. I'll admit that you've given me.
I know. Like, I'm not trying to be like, float anybody, but like when you first started, before you even teamed with Karen, and when you was teaming with Karen, I was trying to, boost you up, because I felt like you was nervous. Mm-hmm. So even like maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of the God given here. Like, you were really one of my pet projects that I was trying to help boost up. And even though everyone joked about how, you doing this and that, you're a joke, low key, a part of me is really proud of you. And then if I see you do a bad promo, it's like, no, I know you can do better, because I seen you do better. Like, when me and you had that feud, that was my favorite you. Like, that was your best work, and that's what I was craving for. Like, that was the Hunter I wanted. That was the vision I saw for you. So when I look back at your accomplishments, I look at that. I look at you, the guy who I want to see the best. You were, when we did that Survivor Series feud, we wasn't even doing the Brotherhood versus the Bullshit Club. When it was just me and you, Hunter, I will be the first to say that you brought your A game to those promos. And that's why, like, when we did the whole in the chat saying, in my opinion, you were the first one I thought about Breakout Star, because you broke out the podcast. Like, you went from joke to this. And that was, and like I said, I'm very proud of you. But like I said just now in the chat, I'm 50-50, because now I look at it, Enigma cash in for the world title. He won the tag. He's a Triple Crown, and I'm not trying to sell you short of it. Like, Youngblood, I mean Hunter, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Like, you really make me, like, I'm trying not to cry, because I get really emotional with these stuff. But like, I'm really proud of your work. Like, sometimes I feel like you slack, but when there's always a gold mile with you. Like, sometimes I see a good promo, people are like, oh no, that's not good. I'm like, no, that was actually a good Hunter promo. Like, I actually see you do these good promos. I'm not gonna vote for Reaper, because I don't care what it is. I'm keeping my character. I'm keeping my gimmick. I hate the Reaper of Real Talk. Fuck that guy. Fuck you, Reaper. I can't wait to beat you at Chamber. Hope Reaper dies. LOL. I just, when I look at Enigma,
I'd say fuck you, but I want your vote.
Well, thank you, man.
At least I'm honest.
Hey, that's what I like about you. But when I look at Enigma, I think of he came in just like you, but he kind of started strong. He won the IC title his second pay per view. He was the first Real Talk Money in the Bank. He won the tag titles. He cashed in for the world title. So just if we're looking at just like impact wise, you made an impact with the world title. But I feel like if Enigma did not cash in for the world title, I would have picked you in a heartbeat. But since I had to bring up the facts about Enigma cashing in and winning the Real Talk in the Bank, I'm really sad to announce that I have to pick Enigma just because of that. I'm really sorry, but I have to pick Enigma. I'm picking Enigma because all of his accomplishments. But
I didn't. The thing went out. My bad.
Hunter. I want you to win, but when they brought up the facts about Jimmy winning the Real Talk in the Bank and cashing in on that stuff, it just came to me that I had to pick him. So I'm sorry. I'm definitely. I apologize. I wish I was Steve Harvey, and I wish I was Steve Harvey, and that's the wrong pick. But I'm sorry.
All right.
If I may, I realize I already said my piece, but I personally feel like one thing that's being devalued here is the fact that Jimmy won a world title that actually had been built up, versus in my opinion, you can't really show how good you are because it's a different. I learned that when I took the first time I did a podcast as champion. It's a different game when you actually when you're a champion and you're doing things. And I think that's the fact that he hasn't actually done much as a champion is something to. Granted, most is basically giving it up now, but so.
Well, now if you may, Jimmy just won the belt, so we can't just say he literally just won the belt.
Exactly what I'm getting at. You don't. I would give him breakout start of the year next year. I think he's going to have that year.
Everyone said their votes. No changing. No.
It's just having a friendly conversation. Okay, stop fucking interrupting.
Oh.
I'm just having a friendly conversation. You know what we're supposed to be doing here?
Continue, Hunter.
I think he's primed to be breakout start next year. He's going into the year at the new year as champion. He's just won it at the end of the year and going into that new year as champion, breaking out like that. But I maintained it through most of the year.
Well,
if I may, real quick as well, I understand where you're coming from, Hunter. I really do. The only thing that is, like I said, I'm trying to not be biased. I'm looking at this. I've always looked at this podcast as creative. I've never really put in my stuff with anybody. I like to look this if I was like the creative team in WWE. But what I see is like, yeah, the thing that, in my opinion, just gives me the slightest edge is the fact that I've been here like 2 months less than you.
You were here for one pay-per-view less.
Well, one pay-per-view less, but it was like about like a month and a half since. But whatever. I mean, I did miss. The thing is, like, when I became champion, especially the first time I became champion, when I became ICP champion, the reboot happened. So I didn't get my opportunity
to be fair,
show.
I also was world champion at that time when the reboot happened. So that's that's why I didn't mention that.
True, but yeah, the thing is, like, I just didn't get an opportunity. At least you won it back. At SummerSlam, I didn't come in with 100% because I was still pissed about the whole thing. I didn't get my full opportunity to show, myself as an Intercontinental champion.
Not exactly.
But
I didn't actually win it at SummerSlam. You do know that, right? I won the tag belts at SummerSlam. The net following pay-per-view, I won the world title back.
You know what? All right. You know what? Can I pick Hunter and Jimmy? Because Hunter won the tag belts
not
too.
For myself. That's the honest truth here. I'm just looking for somebody to vote me that's not me.
All right, you know what?
One vote only.
All right. If that's the case, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm going to vote for Hunter just so
Thanks.
I'm gonna vote Hunter. I'm sorry, Luigi. Switch me to Hunter.
I'll make good points and everything, but we still have more people to vote. So.
Hey,
Yeah. Javier, are you here? All right. I guess he's not. I guess I'll go since I'm the last one. I'm not voting for Jimmy nor Hunter. I am going to vote for John as Breakout Star of the Year, and here's why.
no, sorry, partner. Sorry.
And here's why. You can talk about Hunter's accolades, Jimmy's accolades, how Jimmy has taken this podcast by storm the last few months, how Hunter has, made the world title to what it is now, to where he's successfully defended it, to where he actually has progression storylines where he, is winning matches and winning feuds and making it look good. But John, when he first came, his first podcast, he won the world title. He beat me.
That's not a big deal. I beat you too.
Okay, shut the hell up.
It's like Malik said in the last podcast. Who hasn't beat you?
Like I'm fucking saying.
I'm gonna put myself on mute. Sorry.
Picking John because he's a Triple Crown champion. He had good. I mean, his world title reign wasn't the greatest, but his IC title feud with Malik made the belt what it is now. And John has always been in the upper levels this entire year since he's been here. He's had a long ass tag title reign. He is probably one of the best, if not the best, talker here. He is a consistent person here. He all around. I see him as someone who, from the original 5, made the podcast to where it is today. No disrespect to either Hunter or Jimmy. So, my vote is for John. But, I'm looking at it now. Jimmy wins Breakout Star of the Year. Despite our votes. But,
Yay!
Jimmy, congratulations.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thanks.
So this is like no music?
I'm gonna.
Oh wait, you want music? I got you, fam. Say no more.
Don't worry. Because hey, I don't have to feel bad because I know I'm not walking out empty-handed.
Just so you,
Alright, so what's next?
So, we're going to go with the lighter one, funnier one. We're going to go with catchphrase of the year. And I'm going to be the first one to say because I love doing these, even though we've kind of cut down as of late. But I can't exactly remember how we started it, but it became a staple. Like, how many times can we do this per podcast? And we've broken the number again and again and again and again. My catchphrase of the year is Benoit Clock. It has to be. We have so many catchphrases, but Benoit Clock.
Oh wait, are we not doing that here?
I didn't really mention him indirectly. But, I mean, then again, Benoit didn't indirectly hang Nancy either, so, I mean...
God damn,
I was planning on doing the Benoit Clock vote.
Alright, you mind if I go next, Luigi?
Yes.
All right, so
Well,
I
he
have
said
a
he
question.
mine, so that means don't talk.
All right, so I just wanted to let y'all know that y'all are getting me choked up just like Chris Benoit got choked up.
Damn it! You stole my joke.
Just like no, I'm not gonna be part of this. I'm sorry. It's not like
I
most.
vote for
It's not.
Benoit clock.
I vote for it. It's not like most jokes.
Just seriously though, I was
Hold on,
literally making that joke.
So, John, what was your vote?
Benoit clock.
Okay. I guess Malik can go next.
Okay. I have to pick one, or can I pick both?
Yes, one.
Dang. Is somebody gonna pick for JBL's sake? I'm a Christian or Nia O'Clock? It's not like most.
I don't know.
Cause I feel like those two they deserve to be there. Cause I feel like
But
even.
They weren't really that
missing the
funny.
point.
And to be honest, the JBL.
Oh, you know what?
Christian, that kind of just annoys me, to be honest.
You gotta pick one. Remember, you're missing the point.
You know what? You know, just because of the feud, because me and John will always keep sending it back, I'm going to pick You're Missing the Point.
Oh shit! I forgot about that one.
How can you forget about it?
Well, I had my mind set when we were doing this about Benoit clock, and since I'm already talking, I guess I'll go. I'm gonna go. What was it? Oh right, I forgot. You're missing it. You're missing the point, man.
Okay.
I had it ready for Benoit clock, but I missed the point on that. So.
Alphonse.
Same.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, what?
Same.
Same, dude.
Same.
Same, dude.
That isn't a catchphrase?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the newest one.
We're here when this started. All right, so me, Hunter, Alphonse, Malik, and I think one other person I can't remember.
Ace.
Ace.
Yeah,
The boy
were
Ace.
fucking bullshitting around talking, and Alphonse just every time Malik would say something that pisses him off, instead of getting pissed, he'd just be like, "Dude,
Same.
Jay,
Yeah.
same again. You're got to go one-on-one with the Undertaker. And
Oh, that's a.
Same, Hunter. Same,
I
Hunter.
know Malik is just killing himself right now because
Like
so many
Benoit?
catchphrases.
Same, dude.
yes, that actually is an ongoing joke that you weren't here for."
Yeah, because it's not like most jokes.
Okay.
Same.
All right, you had to pick Nia O'Clock. Everyone.
For JBL's sake, I'm a
Alright,
Christian.
but
Same.
Alphonse, what's your?
I figured I'd throw that in the
catchphrase?
last one.
That's it. Same.
Oh God. Alright.
Same, dude.
Same as my vote? Okay.
Jimmy.
To be honest, I found that whole missing the point thing annoying as shit.
Oh, fuck you.
Same.
Well, that's because you're missing the point.
No, I'm actually not missing any point, actually. I'm going to vote for the Benoit clock. I just really like how dark and how funny we can get with it.
Same, dude.
Yeah, same.
That reminds me of the time when I forgot what it was, but someone kept on trying to find the Owen Hart video.
Oh, that was.
That was me.
Dude,
That
same.
was ridiculous. I was like, yo, this guy's obsessed.
I still haven't found it. Dude, you can check my Google search history. It's all like Owen Hart video.
Damn. Can't let the dude rest.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 6, 7, 3, 5, 6. Who hasn't voted yet?
Javi and Ace.
No. For some reason on the breakout star I counted 7. Right here I have 6.
Well, Ace and Javi didn't vote for Breakout Star.
Well, Javi's not answering, and this is Ace's first time, so he wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know on the breakout star.
So it was just that was pretty much it. Maybe Ryan,
All
but
right.
Steve
No.
Ryan
Oh,
Seacrest.
I guess by a small margin. Benoit Clock is the catchphrase of the year.
Boo. It's not.
Yes. Same.
It's not like most catchphrase for JBL's sakes. This is a Christian podcast.
And if you're not Christian, you can go one-on-one with the Undertaker
Yeah.
and tag team.
And then you can also kill your wife and son yourself afterwards.
Whoa.
Whoa, holy moly, dude!
I love it.
Dude, same.
He's getting
Wait. Okay.
Blood and go hang yourselves.
All right. Can we go to the?
You know what, you guys
you're
Guys,
getting the
these are
hang of it.
the awards. These are the awards, not the freaking podcast.
Well, these
Yeah,
are examples of when and died.
the hang of it. Like Benoit got the hang of it.
Alright, so what's the next award?
All right, so
That was a good one.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go with a controversial one. And I'm gonna let Malik start this one. Best talker of the year.
Oh. Well.
Wait,
Oh my god, this is real? Okay, if I may,
No.
this is the first time Impact Wrestling has ever done something interesting. They
let's-
have a backstage pass thing that gets you a sleepover with the knockouts.
Wait. Are you serious?
Apparently, $200 for a sleepover with the knockouts at the Hyatt. Also, you get some other stuff, wrestling type things, you know. Oh wait, never mind. This isn't the first part. Never mind. I kept thinking it. I was starting to think it may have been actually real. Never mind.
Anyways, Malik.
All right. So when I think of promos, I think of people. You know, when you hear best talkers, you think of guys who, when they cut a promo, you're glued to the TV. You want to hear what they say. Paul Heyman, The Miz, Triple H, Rock and Austin. There you go. Rock and Austin. That's the catchphrase. Did they win catchphrase of the year? Thank God. But I think of those. I think of those guys because they are best talkers. When you watch TV, you want to hear them talk. And when I think of the podcast, and this is not inflating my ego, this is not me. Like I know I be saying that. Oh, I feel like I was crap, but you know, in my heart, I think I truly deserve best talker because if we look at my promos and we're looking at my promos with the Booty Does character, chill Booty, aggressive side, kind side, all that, and Booty God, my promos have. They've been great. They last Impact. I mean, think of my promo with me and Reaper for the contract signing. That helped build the IC title match and the feud. My promo with Sean. Boom. My last promo on Booty Down Live with Luigi and the Brotherhood. I mean, I honestly feel in my heart, when you think of best talkers in the podcast, I feel like you will think of me. And then we can argue that Mav is a good talker. I love Kieran Shea to death. But if we're being honest, he's a good talker, but he's not the best. He got the voice that makes him the best, but his promo skills, his mic skills, they're not really that good. It's the voice that gets you. With me, it's my words and how I say it. I truly believe in my heart and my soul. When you think of best talker in real talk, you think of me. I think Reaper's a great talker. I think Hunter is rising to the occasion. Hell, when Alphonse is serious, I feel like he can cut a good promo. We all got good.
But when does that happen?
Oh, trust me, Alphonse can cut a promo. You have to listen to him.
Oh, I know he can. I've heard him cut a couple really, like if he cuts the promos like he does on occasion, this wouldn't be a controversial pick. This would be Alphonse, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. That means stop playing around and like Sami Zayn. But honestly,
I don't play around. And fuck Sami Zayn, dude.
Stop showing the demon
For
toes.
all the listeners, I know y'all support me. Get rid of Sami Zayn of WWE. He shouldn't even wrestle. He should stop.
But
He
anyways,
breaks his neck like Daniel Bryan.
Oh
He hates
God.
stuff like Benoit.
Okay. Oh God.
Yeah.
Dang, you're
Well,
gonna
Alphonse, since you're talking, go ahead.
cause you're gonna fall flatter than Owen Hart. But anyways, for best talker, I am going to nominate myself. There, I said it.
All right. Like I said, Alphonse, you're next.
Well, I'm not voting for you, Malik, because you like Sami Zayn. Actually, I'm not voting for any of y'all. Y'all like Sami Zayn. I'm voting for Ace. He's a good talker.
He doesn't count. He just started.
It doesn't count. No offense.
Dude, that Benoit joke he did, that was awesome. I'm giving it to him for that Benoit joke.
Yeah, you're the one who's like, bro, really? Are we serious? Like, why are we doing Benoit? Like, stop.
Goddamn, I didn't see that coming, to be honest.
But seriously, who's your favorite? Who you got?
Okay, best talker, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. You know what? I'll give it to Malik. Just due to the fact that, you know, every time I watch his promos, it's like it just gets better and better and better. Like, you know, I think, okay, first I'm like, all right, that's good. And, you know, he gets another promo, I'm like, holy fuck. That's another one. I'm like, god damn, like I like the Booty Dust promos,
Like,
to
you're
be
about to get
honest.
horny, right? Exactly.
Wait, what? Pause? Yo, I just dropped my mic. I got scared.
I dropped my hot pocket.
I got scared. Yo,
No, but yeah,
Luigi,
I
beautiful
give it
death. I dropped my tag titles. I got scared.
Oh,
Oh, too
I'm
soon?
not giving it to Malik, I'm giving it to Booty Dust.
Wait,
I'm like,
we're voting for. You vote for Booty Dust?
Yes.
Okay.
well, if I can add on to that, Alphonse, I'll go next.
Yeah.
I'm also picking Malik. Specifically
Malik or Booty Dust?
for, Malik as a whole. But
Well,
more
Alphonse
specifically,
didn't pick that.
no, we're not doing things like that. We're doing hurt people as a whole. As a whole, more specifically, when Malik introduced the Booty Dust character, that completely took everyone by storm. How can a man who thinks so low of himself in terms of talking wise, how he keeps telling himself that he's shit and everything, how come every time he can hit the how can that trigger something so magnificent coming out of his vocals? Booty Dust promos are the best promos in the podcast, hands down. And that is no bullshit. That is 100% legit. No one can beat his promos. Malik shreds as Booty Dust. Outside of Booty Dust, Malik is still a great talker. But the Booty Dust character really, really skyrocketed him to the sky. It's my vote.
Well, thanks.
Jimmy, you can go next.
If you know, Mike, I really appreciate that. Fun fact: the Booty Dust character is one of my favorites to do promos with. It's really what made me like doing promos, because I hate doing promos.
How was your favorite?
You are my favorite. You're my favorite horseman.
That's not what you said last night.
Well, what?
Whoa.
Oh,
On that note, Jimmy, please.
Alright, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm also a big fan of Malik's work. But the one thing that prevents me from fully, picking Malik is Maverick before he took his hiatus. Now, I give it to Malik. He has improved a lot since, I joined till now. I mean, he's been rocking it with the promos. But for me, like, when I first joined, I was just, like, really impressed with the way that Maverick talked. And I was just like, this guy can actually really cut a promo. This guy can actually... And everybody seems to forget about it since he hasn't been here lately. But the way how... Remember when we had, like, talk shows for whoever's champion and that whole idea went to the Rose and all that stuff? It was really good, and he actually cut down some shut down promos when it when we took those. Now, looking thinking back from Malik, I'm a huge fan but the only reason I'm picking Maverick is because I feel like he's not getting enough credit when it comes to this conversation as much as he should. So I vote for Maverick.
Alright, since no one else speaking up. First, and Malik, I want you to understand that I mean this with no offense to you.
I'm sorry, Hunter. I didn't mean to interrupt. My mic was muted. You said Kieran, right, Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck Facebook Messenger. Alright, go ahead. My bad.
Now, I really do want to reiterate this, though. I don't mean this as any offense to you. But, honestly, I think Booty Dust is overrated.
I would actually have to agree with Hunter a tiny bit on that.
I'm sorry.
My pick is for Malik. Not because of Booty Dust, but because I'm so glad this is not a Kelly podcast, because that Youngblood would have to be more himself for saying this, but it's the god of real talk. I fucking hate it as it bothers the shit out of me, but damn, it's good. I can feel the energy into that. And then the bits there you have with aggressive stars, but
is that it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alphonse, how's that video game? How's that video game, Alphonse?
Go
I'm
ahead.
playing ranked on Tekken right now.
Alright, so I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and for the first time here vote for myself for Best Talker, and I have a good reason why. Everything Malik said is completely and 100% true. But you also have to factor in one thing. Booty Dust decide his best work has come when it involved me. And this isn't me being egotistical, but they always say that it takes two people to bring out the best in somebody. And I honestly feel that if we're taking everything into account, that Malik's work is a factor of me and him syncing so well with each other. And the promos me and him did against each other, and the promos I even cut on the weekend when we had our small feud, actually did have some impact on the podcast, considering the fact that it led to so many feuds, so many matches, and all that. So I'm going to have to give the vote to myself.
Alright. I think, yeah, we've all spoken.
Sorry, when I couldn't pick you, you didn't pick me for breakup, sorry.
We got the votes in, and Best Talker of the Year goes to Malik Davis.
I just like to ask a question. What makes Booty Dust overrated? I actually think he's probably the best. If we can vote gimmick wise, I would actually pick Booty Dust over myself. I just need to know what makes Booty Dust overrated.
I would say something first of all.
To be fair, it is hard to keep Booty Dust fresh.
Yeah, I mean, low key, the movie quotes just kind of kill it at the beginning.
Yes.
For me, it's more of a... I can't take it seriously. That being said, I do realize when I write, it was like, and I don't just mean this when I write, that was my whole intention, not take it seriously at all. Everyone else, they've got, it doesn't feel like Booty Dust actually cares about winning any matches.
It just seems like Booty Dust is here to have fun.
I mean, Booty Dust is an actor. He's just here to be a part of be the star attraction. That's all he cares about.
The
thinking maybe you try to tweak that a little. Everything, but if I'm having, like, I'm not going to lie. If I weren't voting for myself, I would pick Malik Davis just as Malik Davis, not Booty Dust, because the character is more than just Booty Dust, honestly. It's everything taken into account. But at the same time, like I said, you need more than one person to be able to cut a good promo. And Malik's best work has come when it involved me.
Alright.
What's the next topic?
Maybe another controversial one. I don't know. I'm gonna start this one out. Gimmick of the year. Now we all have gimmicks, obviously. And we're just going, and now, I guess just me, personally, I'm not going to base it off of accolades. I'm going to base it off of how well this person portrayed their gimmick, their character, how well it got over, how well it was received by us, the peers, obviously. And this is very hard, because there's a few good, like really, really good gimmicks here. But I am going with the Reaper of Real Talk. And the reason why is because when John says that he's going to do something, 11 times out of 10, he's going to do it, and that it gets done. You know, he was going to take the world title. He was going to beat the Brothers of Real Talk. He was going to win the tag titles. He was going to win the ICP title. He was going to do this and this and this, and he did all of that. And Reaper, the way John cuts these dark, maniacal, destructive type promos really makes the Reaper character flow a lot. I have to give very props to the promo. I think it was against me. That promo, probably one of my favorites of the year. May not win my promo of the year, but definitely one of my favorite promos of the year, and that really added like the cherry on top of the sundae for the Reaper character. So I'm going to say John.
Alright, well, since I was just mentioned, thank you for that prodigy, but I'm actually going to give my vote to Malik's broken gimmick overall. And I have a very good reason why for this. Alright, so as much as I like my work and everything, I'm always the type of person who feels that no matter what it is, I think it's better. And again, going back to everything I said for my argument for myself last time, the same argument is being put forth why Malik also deserves it, because I will be the first to admit, when I went into my feud with Malik, before I feuded with you, I was not confident whatsoever. And Malik did something to help bring out that confidence in me, for me to actually pave my way forward in the podcast after our feud got over. That being said, the end result to all that, I feel, has had a lot of impact in the podcast, with the Booty Dust promos, the work that he did against Jimmy, and those tape promos, the tape matches, the back and forth promos me and him did with each other. Every time I would cut a good promo, he would one-up me, and then I would have to one-up him back. And I honestly feel that with everything taken into account, Malik deserves it.
Does it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, since he was mentioned, Malik. Malik.
I mean, yeah. Sorry about that. I don't want to. I really don't want to show like I'm trying to put myself over, but I would go with the Reaper of Real Talk. But I have to go with the broken gimmick. I mean, I feel like if it wasn't for the broken gimmick, there wouldn't be a lot of stuff going on. I mean, look at Clash of Champions. Every every match card, a broken booty was in there. No pun intended. But if it wasn't for the broken gimmick, we wouldn't have Booty Dust versus Enigma, Booty Dust versus Mav, Booty Dust versus Youngblood, the Beautiful Death. All I mean, not Beautiful Death, but aggressive Nightmare. I mean, I just feel like the broken gimmick really helped the podcast when there wasn't a lot of people that needed feuds. Like even John one time mentioned like, yo, he needed someone to feud with at Hell in a Cell just to get that solo boost. Yeah, I said, hey, you can get the kind side gimmick, but I have to go with the broken brilliance. I'm going with the broken gimmick for 500. What is the Alphonse interruption thing a gimmick? If not, I'm going with broken gimmick.
No.
What interruption are you talking about?
How's your game?
Oh, speaking of Alphonse, you can go ahead.
I guess I'll give my gimmick to Ace. He's done a really good job. You know.
Is that your gimmick?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Alphonse, be serious.
Alright. All jokes aside, you know, Wally, I'm sorry. I like your gimmick, but I gotta give it to Reaper for this one.
Hey, understandable. Reaper's my second choice too.
Only because, like, you know, like, even when I first joined in before we had, like, our little break, when Reaper cut his promos, I was like, holy moly, he's getting into it. And, like, it was, like, on point, you know? And you know, like, you know, probably one day, you know, I'd probably like to, like, feud with you on, you know, one-on-one, you know, with the Undertaker on my side. You know, I gotta give it to Reaper for this one. Sorry, Malik.
Hey, I don't feel offended. I like Reaper. I like the Reaper. It's either Reaper or a broken gimmick, to be honest, in this case.
Alright,
For
Jimmy.
me.
What?
Gimmick of the year.
I cast my vote for Reaper as well. Like I said, it was for me the top three when it came to best talker was either Reaper, Mav, or Malik. But yeah, no, I give it to gimmick of the year would be Reaper because he actually does put a lot of time into it. He actually sticks a lot to his gimmick, you know, in and outside of the podcast, even during the chat.
All the time.
One of the best, you know, word plays that I've seen, you know, other than myself, in quite some time. So I'd really have to give it to Reaper.
Alright, I guess the last one would be Hunter.
Best gimmick is. This is a hard one. Like, honestly, this is the hardest one. For me, because I thought you'd be used to hard ones. You'd think I would be by now, but I wanted Reaper as a gimmick. The idea of it would win automatic. However, in execution, outside of Beautiful Death, to the later part of this year, hasn't really come to fruition. Outside of Teasing Prodigy,
Rich Jimmy.
Don't fucking say it.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
But at the same time, I'm gonna actually get the best gimmick. It's not to a person's gimmick, but rather a gimmick story. And that, granted, this is just one thing out of this entire year, but I'm gonna give it to the War Game because that brought out something new in aspect. Because we treated it like an action. Even though that we were like, it's one thing to treat things like they're actually real. When we're away from when you like with Jimmy and Booty Dust and the chair match, you live right by each other. Y'all can work that. But we brought out, for example, Mike pushing my face against the fence.
The Prodigal Nightmare is something that was brought out in that too.
So instead of my vote going to a particular person's gimmick, that gimmick match is my pick.
Is that allowed?
Actually, yes, it is.
I mean,
I was about to ask if that was added. That's all right.
I mean, it's your vote.
In that case,
That's my pick.
can I change my vote to the Alphonse gimmick when he interrupts people? That was over.
What interruptions, dude?
Yo, I remember
I
when.
was interrupting him, Alphonse.
Yeah.
He's so modest.
What the fuck is going on?
No, when Alphonse first joined it. No, y'all remember the first time Alphonse joined the podcast and he just kept interrupting me, talking and talking. That was the.
He was silent and wait for you to speak.
But
That's the best thing about it. Like,
yeah.
He wouldn't say a word
Right,
unless you were speaking.
Right, and I'm like, this, you go first, Alphonse, for the match. He's like, no, I really want to hear what you said.
No, it's fine.
No, honestly, I feel like the broken gimmick should be on the thing, but I'm giving it to. I want to change my vote to Alphonse's interruption thing because honestly, Real Talk is also about having fun and stuff. When Alphonse was interrupting me, it reminded me of what Real Talk first started out to be, having fun with friends. So Alphonse's interruption gimmick should deserve to be there because it felt like reminded me of the good old times. It was just my best friend interrupting me for no reason at all.
Should I take this as an insult or a compliment?
You make a good point, Malik. And to that, the tournaments. It's not us doing tournament. Like just discussing who's better. That's in my opinion. That's what Real Talk's about. Just a bunch of guys sitting back, talking wrestling.
It's my favorite part. But overall, John, gimmick of the year.
I always thought this podcast was about us reminiscing of Chris Benoit.
I mean, we don't hang ourselves doing it.
I mean, it's nothing to hang ourselves up about.
Hey, I don't erotically
let's just look.
appreciate myself while we do things. What?
What?
Look, y'all don't need to get all choked up. There's nothing to hang yourselves up over.
Nah, just take it off.
Anyways, let's get to two big ones.
Here's the weight of this is really dragging on me.
How's it going? I'll give you that.
You have to admit, that was a fucking clever one.
I'll give you that.
Alright.
I don't get it.
Two big ones. And we'll do one and then the other. Each person. Feud of the year and underrated feud of the year. I guess I'll start. There's been a lot of good feuds here. There's been a lot of bad feuds. Yes, a company or a podcast or whatever the hell you want to call this can create bad stuff. WWE, thank you for teaching us the ways.
Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Best champion in the world.
No.
Enzo Amore.
Oh, Enzo.
All right, Ouija, don't do it.
Sorry. I'm gonna just say my feud of the year first, so I can think of the underrated feud. Feud of the year is Raper versus Booty Daddy. Obviously, before and a little after the shakeup, you guys pretty much carried each podcast. You know, not saying y'all were hogging the time or the spotlight or anything, but you guys made sure that in podcast, in chat, or anywhere, that you two put over that damn belt and your feud. Because it was at that time when Maverick said that the ICP title was shit.
Oh.
And nothing. And Malik, I know, and I remember our conversations, you were highly pissed about it. Like, very. And I saw the fire in your eyes to make sure to prove Kieran wrong that your feud with John, that damn title, was the top prize here. And I have not seen a feud to beat that, and I don't know if we'll ever get one as high class and high profile as yours. So my vote for feud of the year is Reaper versus Booty Daddy. For my underrated feud of the year, I'll get back to you on that because I still don't know.
Alright, so are we doing underrated first or feud of the year first?
Either one. I just don't know my underrated.
Well, alright. Well, let's just do feud of the year.
I'll come back to that.
Alright, let's do feud of the year so we get that to talk about because I think, and I'm going to be this is probably the only time I'm going to give. Well, actually, I gave John props. Oh, god dang it, I broke character. Alright, guys. I gotta do a 2-part John video. I broke character. I gave props to Reaper. I'm about to give him more props. Just let me know when y'all want the video to be sent.
You gotta tell us.
Let's do it at 222 for 2-part video at 222.
Why wasn't Hunter voted for Breakout Star of the Year with that? That was a good joke. But anyways,
thank you. It's a real talk conspiracy.
Yeah, like how he lost the war title. Ooh. But I'm gonna be alright. But back to being legit. It speaks volumes when, like how Luigi described it. It's been Real Talk started from January and we're now in December, so it's been a full 12 months. A full 12 months. And out of the 12 months, well, gimmick started in around February because the gimmick started with, I believe the gimmick started when Luigi turned his back on me, storyline. So, it speaks volume out of 11 months. People still talking about me and John's work. And I went to, I said it on episode 50. I think I said it when me, John, and Hunter did a unique talk with Malik. But it really speaks volume because if it wasn't for that feud, if it wasn't for me working with John, I honestly feel like Real Talk wouldn't be what it is today. Because I feel like me and John, despite us being the so-called mid-card guys, the guys that was just, what Sean said, was just there till the main event happens. Oh, by the way, Sean, thanks for burying me. Me and John's work like Kieran. Just thought about that. But it speaks volumes because me and John, we put our effort. I remember when John messaged me saying, hey, let's do a feud. And I'm like, sure, man, no problem. And then, I wanted to...
Your mother.
Yeah. I do. See, this is what's crazy. I'm very sensitive when people talk about my mom. But when I saw what John said, I personally messaged him saying, "Yo, dude, that was fantastic. That was great. Like, that made me want to work with John more because he was legit trying to make the storyline great. And I don't know if he meant to, I didn't see it as a, yo, this guy's being a disrespectful dick. I saw this guy as, yo, this guy is like the Kevin Owens to my Sami Zayn, my Eddie to Benoit, he was just like my other half. Like this is who I needed to be the next big thing. And the crazy thing about that feud is that feud inspired me to do all types of stuff. Like I was just, I used to just talk. But if you would look back at the feud, I did a video package about me going around looking for Reaper, his memorial. I even said, yo, my shed was Reaper's, house. I said that, yo, man, if that loss to me at Backlash really did this to him. Like, me and John made sure to make sure that feud was great and to make sure that IC title was great. And I honestly, Jimmy talks about not giving Kieran props. I do give Kieran props. I love Kieran. I think he's a great guy and he's great in the podcast. If it wasn't for Kieran, I feel like if it wasn't for Kieran, me and John would not made the feud great. So yes, it's Kieran made me and John work great together. If it I honestly, when it comes to working with somebody, I can say I feel like I'm in safe hands with John. Like when it comes to alright, it's Jimmy. I think he's summoning the demon. He's summoning Jimmy's summoning the demon toes.
Someone say demon toes.
Yeah, but I'm gonna vote for me and Reaper feud of the year.
I feel alright.
Okay. Feud of the year. Do we even really need to vote on this? Like, we're all gonna go around and say the same thing, and if anyone says otherwise, you're lying. Feud of the year is by far Elite and Reaper. But you know what? I realize we're currently not doing the both together, but it's got me. I want to say it. Underrated Feud of the year. The entire podcast versus Alphonse Toothbrush. Alright, we can do our underrated later. I just had to do that. I don't really need to give a reason as to why Reaper in the league. I mean, it's apparent.
Alright, Jimmy.
For Feud of the Year, I want to give it to Javi and Hunter.
Wait, what? I mean, thank you, but what?
I'm gonna say the reason why. And this is where I'm gonna give you props, Hunter, because this is what got you from because everybody was he won the world title, that's a fluke. It got you from fluke to start. And I don't see it underrated. It was because it was for a championship. You were facing heat, and like Javi inside the podcast. Yeah, he might not be the best speaker, but he shows up. He shows up to every single match card, and he puts up a hell of a fight. And especially that you guys tied like twice.
Tied once.
Tied once. It led you on for it was 3 matches.
Triple threat match. Me, Javi, and Brigas, and I won that. Then Javi had his rematch against me, but we tied that, so I retained by champion's advantage. And then the next match, I beat him cleanly 1-on-1.
Exactly, but then
it had a good long build.
And then that slowly, and look at the gold that produced. Because then that slowly transferred into the whole LAX versus Beautiful Death, into the whole Empire, into the whole Betrayal. But none of that would have been if you guys weren't battling for that world title in that specific moment in time. And I just thought that's what brought prestige back to the World Championship in the podcast. And yes, I actually do have to admit, the ICP Championship was glorious at least when I joined in, because no offense to Maverick, but that last title run that he had was probably, if there was an award for it, probably the worst title run, along with Sean's ICP Championship run. But
Sean.
Victor Pro South.
But I feel like that one ICP Championship was always above the World Championship, but this is what finally, and like, no offense, just if you look at every company, the ICP Championship, yeah, it's good. You know, people can make the prestigious, but you can't leave the most prestigious championship out of the picture. And the fact that both of them elevated it back to where it's supposed to be, even if it was a tiny push, that tiny push got it back on the pedestal that it belongs to. So I'll give it to Hunter and Javi
For Feud of the Year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'd be nominated.
I think Alphonse is the only one?
By the way, since we're doing our underrated.
Wait. What the heck?
John, he already said his in the past, so just know that I agree with him.
What's John?
I'm giving it to Reaper versus Booty Daddy.
Okay, and Hunter's giving.
I can go
So.
on a tangent why. Everybody else has already said why.
Alright.
And I'm talking about underrated. I agree with him.
Well, Booty does versus Reaper. And the reason why? Same.
Okay, as much as I love that you said Booty does, but Booty does never fought Reaper, and I kind of had to do something, so I missed Jimmy's explanation of Hunter versus Javi. So was it because of it was for the world title?
It's because the world title is the IC title. You know, it's great, but the world title is supposed to be that element, supposed to be elevated, and this brought it into prominence. Long story short, for the same reason people pick Rolly and Reaper, because it brought the title to the forefront.
And the only reason I picked it even more, another thing that I left out, is that it's a feud that it wasn't only for the World Championship, but it spread it into the Tag Team Championships as well.
Yeah, he mentioned how it led to the Beautiful Death versus LAX, led to the Empire.
Alright, and Alphonse.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Alright, so Feud of the Year, obviously, Reaper versus Booty Daddy.
So can we all admit that Reaper doesn't want to give me credit? Like, I put him over, but he can never put me over. Nice guy, Reaper.
I mean, everybody else put you over, and I don't need to repeat myself.
I want you to put me over, dude. That's all I want for Christmas, is you putting me over.
Okay, and to receive
you have
the
to wait
award,
2 days.
And underrated Feud of the Year.
Can I go first?
Jimmy's talking.
Yeah.
But can I say something real quick? Can I receive the award for Booty Daddy versus Reaper?
No?
I'll receive the award because I'm the one that ended the feud.
No, you technically didn't, because the feud's still going on right now.
Yeah, but that's just a cheap remake that Booty Dust somehow worked into it.
Well, Jimmy, since you're talking, underrated Feud of the Year.
Underrated Feud of the Year. Speaking of Booty Dust, I would really have to say myself versus Booty Dust for this one. One point exactly that Malik made earlier. The first ever Real Talk Wrestling podcast match. And it sparked up this whole, video thing that we're all doing. Well, okay, you guys have done, promo videos before, but as far as, attacks and onslaughts and, the fact that we filmed a match, well, an ambush match, if you want to call it.
It was hilarious.
And the fact that we're actually, in production for an actual, wrestling match that we're going to put on for the Royal Rumble. That's if I'm champion by then. But, yeah, I will, I just really think it was underrated for what it was. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, let's not keep doing that. But me and Malik really enjoy it, and I really feel like it's been just a tiny bit underrated. But yeah, Booty Dust and Enigma.
I'm going to go next, I guess. I'm sorry, I didn't even wait. But I've got to give it to Beautiful Death and the Brothers of Real Talk, because while Malik and Reaper were doing their Feud of the Year, just for a short moment, me and Prodigy were going off on each other. I was goading him into giving up a world title shot. And so, the two of us, basically, the formation of Beautiful Death was kind of you don't like Malik and Luigi, neither do I. And then you had going back and forth. So much so we had to put into the stipulation of, if this match ends it, if you lose, you lose. There's no coming back. And that really raised the stake.
Alright, so I'm gonna go next, and as much as I agree with Jimmy and as much as I love that video promo, overall impact on the podcast, even to this day, in some regards, I'm going to give Underrated Feud to Beautiful Death versus Brothers of Real Talk. Because it ultimately started off, like Hunter said, with me and Malik and him and Luigi. Those two feuds, once Jimmy cast in and then did the singles part of it, merged together and had a shit ton of impact on the storylines that we have even to this day. Because up until Clash of Champions, the stipulation was still in place. Brothers of Real Talk weren't able to go after the tag titles. And there were several points in time where the Reaper character got so pissed off with the other people that he was willing to drop his own stipulation just to be able to take out frustration on the Brothers of Real Talk again.
And for an easy title retain.
Is it because of Luigi?
Sorry. I was continue.
So yeah, like overall impact on the podcast. The video was great. It was funny and everything. I watch it on occasions just because I like seeing Malik go back and forth between the gimmicks. But if we're talking about what has had more overall impact, I am going to give it to the Brothers of Real Talk versus Beautiful Death.
Alright, Alphonse?
This is a tough one.
Vote for me versus Alphonse. That's underrated.
Alphonse versus Toothbrush.
No,
What are you talking about?
If you-
Toothbrush is my friend.
me and Alphonse have been going ever since he joined the podcast. Me and Alphonse have been going at it. That's underrated. First it was the interruption, then it's the toothbrush, now it's the demon
I
toes.
interrupted you.
You just interrupted me. So Alphonse, vote for me versus you because you keep showing the demon toes and I keep ready to punch you in the face.
What demon toes are you talking about?
You're nasty. You're demon toes, dude.
What demon toes?
Your foot.
Dude, they're sexy.
Anyways.
I guess I'll vote for me and Malik as the underrated feud. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can give it to Javi and Hunter. You know, because like it kind of like what Jimmy was saying when he was trying to give them feud of the year. Hunter winning the world title. They actually gave him a push, and he held it for a long time, and it brought him to the top of the podcast, which unfortunately he's no longer in the top. I'm not trying to offend you, Hunter, but I guess I'll give it to that feud.
Why would that offend me?
I don't know.
You just said I did great.
Yeah, you did great.
I'm missing the offense.
I'm
Same.
missing the point.
Yes, you are.
Alright, who hasn't got Malik?
I wanted to say Booty Dust and Mav because I feel like you guys don't really talk about it. Like that feud, I put so much work in it with Mav and all that stuff. Like I also have to say Booty Dust and Enigma. I mean, like I feel like my best work is with John. And I feel like Booty Dust's best work is with Enigma for some reason. Like, I don't know why. And, like, Me and Jimmy are obviously friends.
Booty does, like, you don't feel like Booty does did good with somebody who just didn't give a shit about him?
Anyways, if I was.
Much as I met
Oh, I'm sorry, Alphonse. I didn't know you was interrupting me still. Yeah, Hunter, shut your mouth. But if we're being.
Wait, what?
Shut
Alphonse asked me to fill in for him tonight.
Anyways,
What?
looking at it, I feel like Booty does best work is with Enigma, and then you always work with somebody and I know. I feel like if it wasn't for that feud, me and Jimmy wouldn't be as close as we were. Cause me and Jimmy were bros, but I feel like because of the Booty does feud with me and him.
You put hoes before each other at that point.
If it wasn't for the Booty does versus Enigma feud, I feel like I would never view Jimmy as family. Cause I view Jimmy as a bro that I will hang out with, but because of that Booty does feud, I actually will say Jimmy's like family to me now. So I'm giving it to Dustin Enigma.
I guess does this mean that this is like an ECW thing? He hit me a bunch of times with a steel chair. Now I consider him family.
I guess I'm the last one.
You actually had the deciding vote if you want it.
Yes, I know, and I really.
Of course, you could actually vote for something else entirely, and guess we could both win.
Oh wow, we could actually we could actually have a tie. Vote for something different.
Well, I don't know.
Vote Booty doesn't math.
Or vote for yourself.
Yeah, vote Booty doesn't math, or Prodigy versus Booty Daddy for that 2-week feud, and then John ruined it.
No, I'm gonna give a very, 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 very slight edge to Beautiful Death versus Brothers of Real Talk, only because this feud
Beautiful Death take their first Real Talk award.
Opened up a whole lot for the podcast to do. Like, this was the first feud.
The first tag team feud.
The first tag team feud. It was, the beginning feud for the newly created tag team titles. The four of our chemistries all together really made the feud work. Me and Malik's chemistry to work off of each other, what we say, and then same with you, John and Hunter. It just built. This feud made the tag team division in our podcast what it is now, to where now we had the Empire, then we had the Brotherhood, and then we have LAX. It opened up a lot of more opportunities for it. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to that, and that wins Underrated Feud of the Year. Let's get with some little ones before we get to the two major ones. Go quickly on this one. Match card of the year.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what the name of the show is.
What was the song?
Help me out here.
What was the song?
With the show before Survivor Series, one where
TLC.
No, what? Okay,
Wait.
whichever one it was that we ended up having the Beautiful Death versus Bort match that made Bort lose the ability to go for the belts.
That wasn't TLC.
Wait, was that Did you talk about the No Mercy card?
I guess I said I didn't know what it was called. I didn't remember what it was.
All right.
That match, along with the world title match.
I mean, you gotta who was the poster boy? Was it Booty Dust?
I don't know.
Was that the match I was on the pre-show because Malik had some kind of vendetta against me?
That was.
No, that one wasn't on the pre-show. No, they put the match on the pre-show is when you faced Prodigy on your own.
Okay, so that was. That had to be No Mercy.
He put me, you, and LAX on the pre-show during our first
right.
match.
Because he was bitchy about that person's sport ending that way.
Alright, go with Survivor Series because the whole Brotherhood versus
God's Horseman.
Okay.
The Empire, the Bullshit Club versus the Brotherhood. That was some of the most fun I've had during the podcast. Just with the five of us here in Charlotte, for the ability for us to film stuff together. And then we all built it in the podcast and the chat and everything. It was just very fun to work with everybody in that. So I choose Survivor Series.
All right, I'm gonna go next, and I'm trying to remember this. All right, because Extreme Rules was the pay-per-view where I won the IC title and Hunter beat Nav the first time for the world title, right?
No,
I beat him at Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I didn't have him at Extreme Rules. And
No,
that's
you did. You beat Luigi.
No,
you
I beat Luigi the following show. The reason why how come I know this is because me not having a match in Extreme Rules is what motivated me to do the
No,
first
you didn't
one
have
thing.
a match at Backlash. You won Extreme Rules to face Maverick at
My
Money
match
in the
at
Bank.
Backlash was me versus Maverick.
No,
Okay, so I got those mixed up.
No,
Okay, so
Extreme Rules was the one with Youngblood versus Prodigy. Look up the video.
Payback
all right,
was me
I'm
versus
giving
Prodigy.
mine
No,
to Money in the
Payback
Bank.
was before Backlash.
All right.
Oh,
Like
then
I said-
okay, then never mind. I have things backwards.
Like I said, I'm giving mine to Money in the Bank for one reason. Alright, so we all know that mine and Malik's feud was great and everything, but on top of that, you also had some really underrated good matches going on in that card. You had Jimmy being involved in the IC title match as a guy that nobody really paid any attention to, because you have to be honest, going into that match, me and Malik didn't pay any single kind of fuck about Enigma and
I
it cost.
forgot about him.
Yeah. Then you also have the Money in the Bank match, the first ever one, that Enigma ended up winning. You also had Maverick versus Youngblood after months and months of Mav ridiculing him. And
If you want to
Youngblood,
call it that, teacher versus student.
yeah, you had
But
Youngblood
I would argue that this was the worst match card, and the reason being, exception of the Money in the Bank briefcase, nothing stuck. 30 days later, everything reset. And so the significance of that, honestly, was wasted.
Stupid ass decisions.
even still, regardless of, okay, I'm not taking the reset into account. Because even still, regardless of that decision and everything, even after the podcast, even after the reset got over, the repercussions of Money in the Bank were still in place. And they just were felt recently at Clash of Champions. Jimmy was still Mr. Money in the Bank. Hunter got back his world title. Malik got back the IC title that Jimmy beat him for. So even still, Money in the Bank started a whole entire path of people trying to prove that they deserved everything they had before it was taken away from them. So I'm giving it Money in the Bank because overall it's had the most impact on this podcast on what happened at the pay-per-view and also what happened after the pay-per-view.
Okay. Malik?
I'm going with Backlash. Always. Come on. If we're talking about underrated, we had me versus Reaper, Enigma versus Prodigy, Sean versus Proud versus Math, and then and then because of that match card, that's where the blood bank happened. Backlash is underrated, and the song Always, it just made the song great.
It didn't make the song great. The song was always great. But really, that was fantastic.
I really have to agree with. with John on this one. I really would go with Money in the Bank. Not
you would, Mr. Banks.
not only that, it's just like I said, it kind of put like the whole, two jobbers and superstar storyline at the end of it. So that's why I really think it worked out. It was like one of the better worked out, storylines to come out of a pay-per-view. It'd be of course that seems like a WrestleMania moment, but of course it's not. It happened at Money in the Bank. And then, I guess if you put it in perspective of how, Reaper, mentioned, we did get our what we deserve later on at Clash, or, even before Clash, depending on how you want to look at it. I mean, I guess it still worked out in a way, so I'd go with Money in the Bank.
All right, and Alfonso.
What was the question?
No,
legit.
Match card of the year.
Best match card of the year? Like, pay-per-view wise?
Yes.
No, real talk wise, with the music videos, stuff like that.
Our match cards. I'm
Oh.
going to make a go out of the limb and say Money in the Bank won, just because of the fact that I feel like I was shocked that anybody agreed. I just expected a bunch of everyone picking their own pick.
Okay, I would say Money in the Bank, but I wasn't there for Money in the Bank.
So Survivor Series.
Not backlash, but I could support that.
Survivor Series, yeah. That one, I had a lot of fun on that one.
So it's a two-way tie between, honestly, like,
Isn't it a three-way?
This is where, since we have a tie.
It's three
this is
ties.
where- Huh?
Isn't it three ties? Backlash.
No.
Backlash only got your vote.
Wait. So wait, Hunter. Wait, what did Hunter pick?
No Mercy.
I picked No Mercy.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Which, by the way, I still NOMERCY.
So since
Freaking
there's a
love
tie
that.
here,
I'll
now
be
we
on
go
that.
to
I'll link
each
the
person,
promo.
and out of those two, pick which one. So just go down
Survivor
the list
Series.
in call for me. Hunter.
Huh?
You said Survivor Series?
Yeah. For the one reason, the Beauty God versus the Party King. And it's kind of weird for me because I grew up, and it was weird for me to do this because growing up in church, I was basically tearing apart the construct of God, which my own personal beliefs on that we're not getting into, and so that had such a unique impact.
Okay.
Anyway,
and then me and Alfonso at Survivor Series, and then Jimmy and
and then we're just
John
gonna
said
forget
Money
about
in
the
the
5-way
Bank,
match
so
because
Malik,
honestly,
you're the
that
decider,
in my
I
opinion,
guess.
that build was bad.
What are you almost at the end?
I mean, Survivor Series is up 3-2. If you make it Money in the Bank, then I guess it's just a virtual tie.
Well,
I mean, wouldn't I still win because technically I made the videos? So therefore, why not?
that's because you don't let anyone else do it. I ask if I can do it all the time. You're like, no, man, I got it.
Dude,
You said I
what's
could
your
do
vote?
it last
What's
night.
your vote?
And I do that kind of thing on a normal basis.
So Hunter, fuck yourself. I am.
Not only that, I actually had plans to make it so much better.
Yeah, thank you, Reaper. Same. F him. So I'm picking the Survivor Series because of the Brotherhood. And like I said, I did love doing the view with me and Hunter. That was I love watching Hunter. I think that was Hunter's best work in my opinion of the podcast.
Okay. So we got 3 more to go. This is the next one before we get into the 2 major ones. Promo of the year. Well, anyone start?
Okay, this is. Well, let me just say, you part-time bitches. I think it's pretty clear the part-time bitch. Like, that was just it was absolutely amazing. It left me jaw drop hearing it. but there have been several that have done that, so I can't judge it on that alone. But the impact of it, I never thought we'd see, especially someone who's supposed to be going into being a professional wrestler, and technically since he's getting paid, I think he is, get so upset over a promo that he leaves everything over a promo. When you can put that much dedication into it, someone gets that upset over it, that's real. It's still real to me, damn it.
Alright, Jimmy, you're next.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Hunter. I'd go with Malik's promo over Sean.
You too?
I mean, it's not only that. I just like the simple backstory that was actually incorporated with this. Was the fact that during our Booty Dust versus Enigma match that we filmed, Malik strapped his belt to the back of the chair and folded it. And he didn't realize it, and that we were using the chair still as a prop, like, you know, to hit each other with, thinking that his title wasn't going to be, you know, like...
What? I'm going to have to go back and... Someone send that back.
Okay, it wasn't in the final productions, but when we did the first take, Luigi wrapped the title around the chair, and when I hit Jimmy with it...
No, it wasn't when you hit me. It was when my girlfriend hit you.
Oh, really?
How did we get to see that?
It was when Tima hit you in the back with the chair. We didn't notice that the title was still strapped. We thought it was okay, but then when we unstrapped the belt, the last side plate on the left, I think it was cracked in half. And at first we were like, oh, you know, that's kind of, you know, saddening because, you know, the belt did cost a lot and stuff. But yet to believe that, you know...
I didn't see this. Do y'all still have the video?
I think I do.
Okay,
and
you're
then,
going to need to send it to the chat because I want to see this.
And then, you know, little to know that, holy shit, you know, the fact that Sean didn't show up and, you know, he was calling him a part-timer, you know, you broke the IC title came really well into play with the whole cracked belt.
I didn't even know that this happened.
God dang it, let him tell the story.
It turned out to be gold, especially with his whole broken character. You know, Sean broke the belt, you know, and figuratively, you know, literally we got a broken belt, and it was great. It worked out great. So yeah.
All right. Going down my list, Alphonse.
I agree with Jimmy. Same there. Like legit.
Dude, same.
All right.
Wait, why is it the same, Alphonse?
Because when we did the whole gimmick thing, and then you know your promos is real, and
all right, John.
Same.
Alright, I want to give another reason as to why it was correct. That promo transcended, that's the word I'm trying to think, transcended our storyline, because at the moment, I am absolutely hating Malik. And I'm sitting there going, damn it, stop it, you shut up, man, you're making me a fan here.
Okay, if we're being legit though, I'm giving it to his promo on fucking Providence just for the reason of what it actually did and shit, because, like, we all say so much shit to each other, but like Hunter said, if you're a professional...
Y'all mocked me about with the fact I lost everything with the hurricane.
Yeah, I mean, that... Us doing hurricane jokes was low-key fucking petty and shallow as hell, but it was still hilarious.
Because I was... the joke itself wasn't as bad as the fact that y'all knew I was in a hotel because I had no house.
Okay, but anyway, as I was saying, the impact of Malik cutting that promo on Sean caused a person to leave the podcast, and if I'm being honest, it's kind of the reason why me and Malik are feuding again, because what Sean did to that title pretty much told me and Malik that we need to get this fucking title back up to prestige, because like Jimmy said before, yes, the IC title was great, but after Sean held that title up until the point where Malik cut that promo on him, that title was all but forgotten. And it got to the point where Malik cutting that promo causes Sean to leave, which causes me and him to go, oh fuck, this title is really undervalued right now. We need to do something about this. So,
if I can just like step in real quick, it's just like that's going back to the earlier argument. It's just like I get y'all wanted, the first feud between both of y'all was great, but that's what kind of made me, hate your guys' second feud, post, Sean, because it's just like, it was like, oh, the IC title is crap again. Let's just straight go back to the one feud that somewhat elevated, making it think that it's gonna work again instead of giving it like a fresh new outlook. You guys just went straight back to something that, in my opinion, should have stayed dead of just a little bit more than to just go back to it like kind of immediately post the revamp. And that's what kind of makes me not like your guys' second feud too much, because I just feel like it was forced.
In that aspect, and in mine and Malik's defense, we actually have put off our feud temporarily.
Yeah. I mean, like, if anything, I would have thought like immediately Malik and Luigi, or Malik and
that was gonna be the plan until Sean beat him. Like everyone beat him.
I don't know if you were here during this match card, but the only reason why me and Malik are actually feuding outside of the Sean shit is because me and Luigi both had legitimate claim to the IC title because of everything that happened. So me and Luigi, when we feuded, when I cut the Creepy Reaper promo on him, was to stake claim at the IC title, and I ended up beating him.
Yeah, I feel. But it's just like, that's kind of, I was just wanting to give you my explanation why I kind of don't like your guys' second shot at it.
I realize we're actually done with that now, but I want to talk an underrated promo, at least just because of the fact that I'm probably just putting my own bias into this, but my promo with Billy Dust during that final build, where I'm going on and I'm building it up, and he's getting all excited, and I dilly bitch, and he's getting ready, and I just stop. I'm just like, no, we're done here.
Alright, so
I thought that was fantastic.
Honestly, I feel like, since I won Best Talker, I feel like the best promo I cut to deserve that reward was that Sean promo. I actually did put heart and emotion to that one, but I also...
I don't know that I would pick you for Best Talker.
Yeah, but I actually did that promo because I felt like Sean's a wrestler, Sean's my friend. And if I could say this about Luigi, say stuff about John, I'm sure Sean wouldn't be upset, but the impact of that promo, I mean, that promo was, I feel like, honestly, that's the promo that kind of shake Real Talk, honestly, if we're being honest.
We all grew together closer because of it.
Yeah, so I feel like if it wasn't for that promo, because of that promo, it shooken up Real Talk.
Jimmy didn't really like each other that much, in my opinion. At least I didn't like Jimmy. I didn't really like you that much beforehand. But through that, and then through us, because we all actually, we mock the Queen of Pro South now. That brought us together.
Same. Well, I guess I'm gonna be the only one different.
But you're not the same.
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 So, and I don't know if y'all will agree with me or disagree. I mean, Part-Time Bitch has already won, but I wanted to say mine last because I knew.
This is my
No
problem.
one else.
Part of these part-time bitches winning.
Oh, no one's said anything, but.
You missed you. Never mind.
Because I knew no one else would pick the one that I'm choosing.
Is it my contract signing?
No.
Creepy Reaper?
No.
Oh, then I got nothing.
So, the promo of the year, it's not really a promo. No, I wouldn't say a promo. Almost. More of like a realization or a advice. And that was when Sean suggested pretty much the reset. And
Oh, fuck that one.
the reason why... No. Yeah, shut the hell up. So, the reason why I say that is because we wouldn't have done anything in the second half of the year if it weren't for Sean. Sean looked at the podcast and he told us the things that we were doing wrong, and which I now see. None of us knew what the other person was going to do in storylines. It was sort of a surprise for everybody. That's why every time someone did something, everyone had a problem with it. Because one, no one knew about it, and two, it fucks up their plans. There was no communication whatsoever. There was no there was no, like, lines, to be crossed. Just everything was just chaotic. After the reset, we made sure to communicate about storylines. That's why we got, the second half of the year was obviously the better half of the year for Real Talk as a whole. It made the communication was very key, and it made us really think hard and think wisely about everything that we did. We set barriers to where if a certain person didn't like certain this and this being said, like, Hunter talking about Malik's mother at one point, and then Malik getting completely pissed about it, but Hunter didn't know, or when Hunter used my personal...
Why did all you think about what I did?
Because it comes up in mine, damn it.
I mean...
But it's just examples. If it weren't for Sean, this podcast, honestly, if it was continuing on the path before the shakeup, we wouldn't be doing this right now. I guarantee you, if we're continuing on this path, none of us would like each other. Or at least in terms of, Charlotte.
I'd still probably like God, but I would hate the rest of you.
That's my vote, but obviously part-time bitch wins.
Alright, not to start a debate, because I know everybody got to do something, but I agree with that, and I do love the reset and all that, but I just feel like the promo should be Real Talk related, but I respect what you picked.
And that one wasn't even on air. That really wasn't.
Wait. But Providence was the one that came up with the shakeup or whatever.
Yeah, remember when you said you hate the guy
was
who...
the one who came up with it.
He's the one who bitched because he left and made it and
No, Kieran left first, right?
I don't remember who left first. They left like 5 minutes within each other.
Yeah, I think Kieran left first, and then Providence left afterwards, and then that's when we had that group call. We're like, okay, we need a break.
And then Kieran came back though.
Billy's gone. Fucking bitch.
Really, why is he a bitch?
Let's get to the two main.
There's more?
Yeah, the two main categories. Let's start with Tag Team of the Year.
Well, then let me get some stay away.
Okay, can we all agree that Beautiful Death won this?
Yeah, but now let's talk about why.
No, everybody needs to vote. Everybody needs to vote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Beautiful Death. First ever Real Talk Tag Champs. Held it for 92 days. Successfully defended it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm gonna say LAX because they have all the gold right now, world and tag team. F you Reaper for not putting me over.
Hey, fuck you. No. I want you to Owen Hart yourself, and you know why? And not Chris Benoit yourself. Owen Hart yourself is that way. I don't want your family to be so ashamed. I want your family to be so ashamed that they don't let you get any honors.
Dang, Ace, you hear this? Now Alphonse gotta look up videos of off my fall.
Alright, so that's what your vote is, Malik, then?
I mean, I'm gonna pick Beautiful. I'm gonna vote Beautiful Death because honestly, I would say LAX because they got all the gold right now, but they kind of just came back in December, so I'm gonna go with Beautiful Death. And show respect to Youngblood. He stepped it up.
Thank you.
Fuck John Edwards.
Can I vote now?
Yeah.
Alright, I vote for the Brothers of Real Talk.
What? Ouija, we
They
won.
did that like 3 times in a row.
And no. And I'm going to name you reasons why. Here
Booty
we go.
Prodigy.
Booty.
I swear to God, if you start that,
Prodigy.
Chasing gold.
We will never
Hey,
fold.
let Jimmy finish.
I'm about to change my vote.
Okay. They're the OG. They're the first tag team inside Real Talk. Yes, they haven't won gold, but in my opinion, I feel like they've had the best chemistry within the podcast.
I'm sorry, but they figured with each other almost every time. While they were a team.
They have fun together, and you can see that they do have fun together. Not taking anything away from you guys, but even if it's simple as that, even if it's simple, with the whole booty Prodigy thing, like, see, that's creative, that's fun. It shows that they're having fun with the tag team, but like, do you guys even have a catchphrase? Like, no,
Yeah,
of course.
There are 2 things certain. There are 3 things certain in life: death, taxes. They're beautiful. Sorry, I messed up.
You lost.
Beautiful people. They're beautiful people.
Luigi, I'm switching to Brothers of Real Talk.
I say Brothers of Real Talk because they were the first one. They have chemistry. Yeah, they haven't won anything.
They didn't win a match. Not much. They didn't just not win a title.
Okay, Hunter.
But we're not talking for this one. We're not talking about the tag team championships came within like the last 4 months. I'm talking about just.
All right, okay. Hunter. Me and Luigi were co-world champions. That kind of beat you for tag titles.
That's not really.
Luigi, all right. Before Jimmy,
actually, no. Once you think about it, that counts. As a tag team, you win and you lose together. They won together. They both became world champions at the same time. They were there longer. They've had chemistry. Yeah, at the end, if you look at it kayfabe-wise, yeah, they had a bit of a rocky road. But guess what? They still made it work, because if you want to put it on, like, once again, kayfabe-wise, Luigi tagged with aggressive Booty. But at the end of the day, it's still both of them. At the end of the day, they're still working together. At the end of the day, they still find ways to win. And even if you can't win the big one...
Oh my God, Hunter, let him talk.
I'm just saying. I mean...
Look, you just won Beautiful Death to win. Just say
Well, that's because they did... I mean, think about it, really.
Okay.
The only tag team to not... Because no other tag team beat us. And that's still true even though we don't have the belts.
Okay, but let me put it to you this way: just because Jinder was champion all these months doesn't make him a fucking Hall of Famer.
All right, Luigi, I'm switching to Brothers of Real Talk.
Just because he had the belt, he won matches, he beat Naka like 3 times, he beat other superstars. It doesn't make him a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's the people who made him look good. And without Brothers of Real Talk, there is no Beautiful Death. So Brothers of Real Talk.
So we
Whatever.
have 2 Beautiful Death and 3 Brothers of Real Talk. So, Alphonse, you're the difference maker.
Me and Hunter haven't voted yet.
I know who you guys are voting for.
I think Alphonse fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay, wait. All right. So who got Brothers of Real Talk? Me, Jimmy, and you, Luigi.
Yeah.
All right.
So we win.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Yeah, that's
Wait.
the fucking...
Hold on, Ace. Are you there?
No, like I said,
Wait. Alphonse is here. Alphonse.
Yo, are you choking on that demon toe?
God damn.
Alphonse.
Yo, when you found out you had to put over Jinder Mahal.
You okay?
Yo, is this a gimmick? Is this?
I hope not. I hope he's alright. When they said Jinder was gonna hold the title for Rumble, you can drive over there now.
Right. Do I gotta take a Uber?
He choked on
You
some
good?
booty dust.
All right. Whoever said the booty dust, I popped for that.
That was Ace.
Ace for
Alphonse, you good?
Ace the man.
Alphonse, you good?
Somebody give him some milk.
Nah, he needs some fucking Jesus water. Like, goddamn.
Did someone say God? Oh no, never mind.
Alright, so now we're
Alphonse,
Yeah,
shit, are you good?
Alright, can you just die or stop choking?
Oh, Chris Benoit will help.
Damn. Alright, so Brothers of Real Talk win. Okay.
We won.
Yep.
Oh.
Hunter left.
I'm still in the call.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
All right. I mean, Alphonse is
Hello?
only one. What? There's
Yeah,
one more
you're-
award, right?
You're still in the call.
Oh, what I miss?
Like I said,
Alright,
it's
so,
not to
Tag
like
Team of the
take
Year.
anything from you guys.
Beautiful Death. Just because they won the gold and they've held the tag titles for a while.
Alright, so
Alright.
that's 3-3.
You know what? Why don't we just say they both won? We both win.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Alright, to the one that we've all been waiting for. Real Talk. Superstar of the Year. Alright, so is anyone going to...
Oh. Well, I thought we was gonna wait for Hunter to come back, but if he's acting
No,
like
if
it,
he wants to be if he wants to be a bitch, go ahead.
all right.
It's not like that's new.
I view impact to the podcast. I view how people interact with them, how people view them outside of chat, how they talk about them, and I wouldn't. Youngblood would be a third choice. Reaper would be second choice, but I think I will be number one. Mav would be number 4. I feel like what Jimmy said, if Mav would have just stayed during the reset and kept staying over, or at least just been more part of it, I think Mav could have been. I think Mav would have buried us all. But when you think about it, when Mav came, he lost to Booty Dust, and he never really came back after that. So I can't really say Mav. I mean, I'll put Mav as top 4 because of the 3-time world title, but after he lost to Booty Dust, that God damn, you choking like a motherfucker. But after that loss to Booty Dust, Mav can't really be in it. So I'm gonna say Booty God as Superstar of the Year.
Wait, before we continue, I'm really gonna say this. I know, John, you might not agree with it, but if literally Hunter is going to be this butthurt over tag team of the year and the result of it, I think low-key, like I said, John, you might not like it, but he's really being a sore loser right now for something that's really
what happened with Hunter?
He's really mad that, Brothers of Real Talk won first before you voted. And I really feel since he wants to act like you guys did win, Brothers of Real Talk should win, since he's really being a sore loser for no reason right now.
Wait. Brothers of Real Talk? Well, for Brothers of Real Talk.
Oh, wow. Dick.
Well,
Yeah, John, you might not
like
like it.
agree with you, Jimmy. I'm still giving my vote to Beautiful Death.
Yeah, no, I know that, but, if he wants to act like the Brothers of Real Talk won and be really butthurt about it, even though it's a tie now, Brothers of Real Talk are the winners for now until, he can get his act together.
All right. I'm gonna go full on beast mode. Old Hunter says John wins Superstar of the Year. I'm going to say Malik, and it's very straightforward. If you take out the accomplishments, you take out the gimmicks, and you take out all that, and you just look at Malik Davis, he eats, sleeps, conquers, and repeats this podcast. He's the one up till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, whenever the hell it is, to edit these videos and to upload them. He takes hours to put a movie into it, to put pictures. He puts, however long it takes to upload each episode, to upload the episode. Alright? He makes sure to plan with everybody when we are doing the podcast. He records the podcast every single time. No one asked him to. He was like, and the biggest point of all, he created this. If Real Talk wasn't a thing, if Malik never thought of the brilliant idea to create Real Talk, then I wouldn't have met John, I wouldn't have met Hunter, or Kieran, or Javi, or, and it wouldn't have brought me and Jimmy closer together. So...
Don't forget Ace.
Oh, yeah. The boys Ace. Malik is the entire embodiment of Real Talk. And for him, potentially not to win this award would be bullshit. So, my minus for Malik. Jimmy.
Yeah, let's just say, this year has been really great. As far as the podcast, I haven't been here from the beginning. I haven't really paid attention to anything, before I joined. All I know is that, Javi did beat, Luigi at Mania. We can do a coin toss. That's all I really know. And Mav is the first champ. That's all I really know. But as far as, post, when I joined and everything, I think everybody has done something. Even though Luigi hasn't had too much of an impact, I feel like his character enough was still, here. And it's still, it brought the Brothers of Real Talk together, the Brothers of Real Talk, the Brotherhood. And then, you have Reaper with, being the first Triple Crown, and you have, it's just a bunch of stuff. Malik with his title reigns. Me and Hunter, nobody thinking we can do it, and, shocking the world, and, accomplishing so much. And even Alphonse, he might have not won, a major title, but from being a person that was somewhat here to, I don't want to be a part of this, to, I'll make a comeback because of the Brotherhood, to now, look at him, a third of a tag team champions, I feel like everybody had something to do. And I really like the point that Luigi made about, all gimmicks and all, championships and everything aside, Malik. But I will give it to Malik for another reason, is because, yes, he does, eat, sleep, breathe this podcast, but I give him my pick is because of passion. the passion that he shows for the ICP championship is, beyond me. It's something that Javi, did point out, like, it's funny how we're going through all of this, just for, fake championships or fake belts. But yeah, it could be fake championships, fake belts, if you look at it at a bigger picture. But to us, this is as close as, for some of us, as close as we're getting to, the real thing. A sport that we love to watch and enjoy. And I give Malik that advantage of Superstar of the Year because he bought an IC championship. He sleeps, breathes it. He loves it even though it got cracked. He brings it everywhere. He loves, we're always thinking about it. And I feel that he really deserves it, not only because of gimmicks and all that he's come up with, not because of his 2 ICP championship reigns, or the big he's accumulated as champion, but just because he founded something that brought every one of us together. Going back to what we said in the 50th podcast episode, but Malik Davis, not even Booty Daddy, not even Booty Dust, aggressive, kind, chill, but Malik Olajuwon Bradshaw Davis is, for me, Superstar of the Year.
I'd like to change my vote to Malik Olajuwon Bradshaw Davis. It still warms my heart that you remember my full name, dude. Like, that's crazy how you remember the full name.
Mob D.
He remembers the full name. That's crazy. I love you for that, man. I really do.
Same here.
Alright, Alphonse?
Name.
Yeah, same.
Alright, John.
Yeah, like
John. Toothbrush for Superstar of the Year.
it's
Change my vote to Toothbrush too.
Okay, no, seriously, as much as I want, okay, I agree with everything that people said about Malik, but I'm taking this more into a, gimmick aspect rather than a running the podcast aspect, because here's the thing, when you make something, you're expected to want to show dedication. It's your project. If Malik didn't show dedication to what he did, I would question everything we've done. So him showing dedication is just something that's a given to me. But when I think of Superstar of the Year, I'm more or less thinking of what have they done in the podcast. And for that reason, when it comes to Superstar of the Year, I'm actually going to give my vote to Youngblood. Because, okay, so think of it this way. I brought him into this podcast, and immediately he was treated as nothing but a joke. As time has gone on, Youngblood has done, like Jimmy said, brought Prestige back to the world title, proven people wrong on multiple occasions, has become a multiple-time champion with the world title, has the longest reign along with me as tag team champions, and everything he's done, just like Malik, he's gotten better and better as time has gone on. His feud with Luigi, honestly, I feel was underrated. His feud with Malik was probably one of the best feuds of the year, and if it weren't for me and Malik facing each other, I would honestly have voted for Hunter and Malik to be feud of the year, with the whole God of Real Talk and Hunter going back and forth saying how he loves games and shit on his video promos and all that. So I'm giving my vote to Hunter Superstar of the Year just because of how much he's proven people wrong.
Okay. Well, since everyone has voted,
Well, I technically didn't.
I mean, you texted us and I said,
Yeah, but I want to give more thought. I thought more, and I didn't want to vote for myself because no one else did, because that's cheap. But I do think I do deserve. So I think I deserve some recognition in this. So, and John basically said it, so I don't know.
alright. With that, the Superstar of the Year goes to Malik Olajuwon and Bradshaw Davis. And with that, thank you all for joining us for the first annual, and yes, I mean annual because it's going to happen every year.
Before we go, I think I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why the screw job would happen with LAX and the Brothers of Real Talk working together. But I figured it all out. Traded championships for votes. That's all I'm going to say.
It's a conspiracy.
Youngblood signing out.
It's a conspiracy.
Against the truth.
Oh, now we can do gimmicks? What the hell?
No.
That's all I'm saying with my gimmick.
Alright, and with that, thank you all for joining us for the first ever Real Talk Award ceremony. I've been your host, Luigi, and Malik.
No. You're the host. You say my arm.
Wait. Hold up one second.
We love doing this for you guys.
No, hold up, no, nothing. Malik,
I'm doing this for you
Okay, I
guys.
just like to do that to piss Malik off.
Can I? Can I send us off?
Yes.
I've always wanted to do it.
Yes. Do my.
Can I just say one thing before you end it?
Oh, go ahead.
Is this the last podcast of the year?
No. I think we have one, at least one, maybe two more.
If you want to find the producer of this podcast, his address is 5301 at. No, I'm joking.
All right,
I was actually paying attention to that. I was like, I'll just send Luigi some shit.
Alright, Luigi,
Like, I was actually going to send him a present because I just tried to send him something.
Alright, and with that,
Mine and your nicknames.
thank you guys for joining us. We love doing these episodes for you guys. Like they said, this won't be the last episode of the year. We probably got about one or two more. But give us a like. Give us a
Unless the meteor
share.
comes and we all
Give us
die.
a comment. We love doing these episodes for you guys. Share us. We want to grow. Y'all want to see us grow. We want to see our fan base grow, so we can do a lot more with this podcast than what we are now. So
This
please,
sports site set up really helped me grow.
like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Woo!